the other continents. And when you're in a race, you want to build out as quickly as possible. So we've got this massive AI build out that's happening across the country with data centers that are going in left and right. And the grid is not made for this. The grid is not prepared for what's happening right now. That is why over the last 5 years, you've seen nothing but energy prices going up. Just by looking at this chart here, you can see from 2020 really to today, everything's up about 100%. So if your utility BG&E bill was $100 5 years ago, it's easily $200 today. If it was $500, it's easily $1,000 today. Okay, so you've got all this demand hitting the grid and not enough supply to accommodate. So during peak times, energy prices spike to the point of unaffordability for many folks. So that's just one of the issues that's happening. You got to transition into renewables. You got vehicles that are getting created every day that are hybrid or all electric vehicles. None of these things were anticipated with the grid that was made 100 years ago. So we've got a problem. We've got a massive problem, and there's no easy solutions. There's no magic bullet that's going to take care of all these problems. It's going to take years, a decade or two to even tackle them. But in the meantime, there's things that we can do to help customers to really help them absorb all this huge energy crisis that we're in. So let's focus on our number one opportunity here in Maryland, and that is community solar. To me, I'm going to go through this short little presentation about community solar, and I'm sure that there's going to be some people at the end of it that say, I looked into getting panels. I don't want panels on my house. That's not what this is. First of all, I'll tell you, I love panels on your house. If you can get panels on your house, I'm a big advocate of it as long as it makes sense financially. But if you can't, if you're a renter, your home is not compatible for solar installs. This is a program that the state created, put into law for the benefit of all of us. And so few people even know about it. So let's jump into what is community solar. Well, you can see a big field here filled with solar panels. That gives you an idea. Agricultural land, rooftops on businesses, or even like landfill, brown land, whatever you want to call it. They're allowing developers to build out these farms called community solar. So we have it, community solar, in multiple different states across the country, but we're going to focus tonight on our number one state here is Maryland, okay? So before I can talk about it, I would like you to just watch a little commercial. One of the things I love about this video I'm going to share with you is you have access to it immediately when you enroll as an advisor, and you can start sharing this video. It's 2 minutes to as many people as you want and follow up with them, because once you watch the video, it kind of explains exactly what it is. So let's jump in and share the video real quick.
Community solar is becoming increasingly popular, and it's easy to see why. Community solar produces solar power, which is a clean, renewable source of energy. Even better, in many markets, it provides subscribers with community solar credits on their utility bills. Now, when you become a community solar subscriber and you receive your community solar credits through utility consolidated billing, you can get community solar credits applied directly on your electricity bills, reducing the amount of money you pay to your utility company each month. Community solar allows you to enjoy the benefits of solar without the hassle of installing and maintaining panels. Renters and homeowners can enroll in a local community solar program and receive community solar credits at a discount of 5 to 35%, reducing what you owe to the utility each month for your electricity. There's no installation, no upfront costs, and no cancellation fees. Here's how it works. Solar developers build community solar farms that deliver clean energy to the local electric grid. Once your enrollment is complete, your electric account is connected to the first available solar farm. A portion of the community solar credits generated by the farm are reserved for your electricity account. Once you're enrolled and connected to a farm, you simply pay your normal electric bill. Your community solar credits will appear right on it at a discount. Depending on which state you live in, you can save 5 to 35% on these solar credits for the life of the solar project, which can be up to 20 years or more. You can sign up in a few minutes and start saving as soon as you're connected to a local solar farm. If you're currently enrolled in any state or federal low or moderate income benefit programs, such as Medicaid, Energy Affordability Program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance, Universal Service Fund, or other. Ask your Think Plus independent energy advisor whether a larger discount may be available to you and which programs may qualify. Save money. Support clean energy. Sign up today. Your Think Plus independent energy advisor can share the state-specific savings details for where you live. Welcome to Think Community Solar.
So pretty simple. This is an example of what a real farm looks like. And when you sign up, you just get allocated to the farm. The thing is so simple because nothing changes. When you enroll in the program, your account gets attached to a farm. You're not getting the energy from the farm. You're getting it just the way you always have. But because you're attached to it, it knows to give you the credits at a minimum of 10% savings guaranteed off the entire bill. So if your bill is $300 and you enroll in the program, as soon as you get credits, you'll see a community solar credit of $30. So now you only have to pay $270. It's literally a free month of electricity every year for the next 25 years. Now, if you're low to moderate income, which we can jump into, if you're low to moderate income, and I'll show you the programs that you would need to qualify for that, you get 15%. You only have to qualify one time. Once you're qualified in the system understands that you're getting 15%. So in that case, you get a $45 credit instead of $30 for a $300 bill. You get this credit for 25 years, every month, no rooftop required, totally free to enroll, cancel at any time. And renters, this is a big one. Renters qualify for this. We've been signing up so many renters and property management companies across the state because it's good for their tenants. They can introduce it to their tenants and be the hero. So here's the programs that if somebody qualifies for any of these programs, Maryland Energy Assist, Head Start, SNAP, LIHEAP. By the way, LIHEAP, if you ask someone to send you a copy of their bill and it shows LIHEAP on it, you just upload the bill, they're automatically qualified because that's one of the things that shows up on your electric bill. So any of these programs here, if somebody's on any of them, they get 15%, or they can self-attest. Okay, so if they're meet the federal poverty levels for low to moderate income, like one person living in an apartment or something making less than 31,920, they could self-attest that that's me, and they would get qualified for the 15%. So that's how it works with LMI. It's an extra step when you enroll. The enrollment process, you get a link, you put in your zip code, it says community solar 10%, you click on it, you put in a basic information, you upload a copy of your most recent bill, and if you have LMI or any of these supporting documents, upload it, that would tag you at 15%. Why is that important? Because our company pays a lot of money for those customers, for low to moderate income customers. So, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Here's an example of my bill. I've been on a farm now for about 6 years. I got in 2019-20 timeframe. I've saved over $5,000 since I've been on my farm in that time period, which is incredible to me. I'm an example of someone who has solar on my house. My solar panels only offset about 55% of my total usage, but I can still get community solar for the other part that is not being covered by my solar panels. As long as you use over 3,600 kilowatts per year, you can still qualify for community solar and solar, okay? So you can see on my bill here, it just says, here's the total bill, electric, $329. You see other charges and credits. And you say, I wonder what that is. And it shows a number there, right? Then you scroll to the second page and it gives you the details of those other charges and credits. So you can see on my community solar net credit, I got $54.64 in credit. That took down my total balance due. I also have some kind of smart charge management thing, or if you're in like the air conditioning program where they can control your thermostats, you'll see a credit there, but this is the one you're looking for. After you enroll, it takes about 3 to 6 months for us to assign you to a farm and for you to start getting credit. So it takes a couple months because we got to fill the farm, it gets put online, and then you start seeing the credits. But once you start seeing them, you'll start seeing them every month for the next 25 years. Pretty awesome. So that is how simple Maryland Community Solar is. We are available in Maryland in the 4 major public utilities: BG&E, Pepco, Potomac Edison, and Delmarva, Maryland. Okay. So there's another utility called SMECO. SMECO is a co-op They don't participate in the Maryland State Community Solar Program, so they're the only utility, public utility that we don't offer the service in. Now, we also have, let me go back one. We also have a service called AutoSave. Now, this is available in, I'm going to name the states. It's available in DC, Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Illinois. Those are the states that we have this service in. And what this service is in those states, consumers have the right to choose where they get their energy supply from. What's been a challenge in the past is companies that offer what are called bait and switch tactics. They give you a really good deal for 6 months or a year, and then after that term, they can do whatever they want. They can renew you at higher rates. They can put you on a variable rate. We call it bait and switch tactics. That doesn't work anymore. Customers are fully aware of those things. When they meet us and they learn about AutoSave, our promise to the customer is AutoSave, you sign up for it. If we can't beat the utility's price, we push you back to the utility. Only if we can save you money do we pull you to Think Energy. So for example, if the utility's charging 10 cents for everybody and we can buy your energy for 8 cents, we're going to pull you to Think Energy and give you that 20% savings. But if the rates change and we can no longer beat them, we push the customer back to the utility. So they're guaranteed to never pay more than what the utility standard offer is. That's huge because you never have to renew them. They're always a customer, whether they're with the utility or whether they're with us. They're always your customer. You don't lose customers. You don't have to call them and renew them. So AutoSave has changed the entire energy landscape. Everybody who is doing contracts is coming over to Think Energy because they love what AutoSave is. It's pretty simple. Guaranteed savings when your supply is with Think Energy. There's no cap on how much you can save. Guaranteed to never pay more than the utility. There's no renewals needed. You sign up once and let AutoSave do the work. You can cancel at any time, no fees, no charge, no nothing. I go to Claude or any chat GPT and say, hey, Claude, should I enroll in AutoSave with Think Energy? Gives you all the benefits, no downside risk, no cost to join or leave, no action required. And then if it says, what's the bottom line? Well, since AutoSave has no fees, no penalties, and the utility rate is built in a floor, it's essentially a no-risk program from us customers. The only reason why someone wouldn't enroll is if they're already on a fixed rate with another supplier. Now, if they're with another supplier and you look at their rate and they're paying more than the utility, they ought to get out of there anyway. But that would be the only thing I would ask a customer. Are you with a third party already? And if they are, let me look at your bill and that you make a decision at that point. But 80% of the customers are still with the utility, and the ones that aren't are probably paying more than the utility anyway. So literally, in just to summarize, there's no fees, no stress, no surprises, all upside, and it's just, to me, it's a dream come true product. So AutoSave is a key technology that we have. It's proprietary to us. We own it. It's patented. Nobody else can duplicate it. So it makes us very unique in the market, but it also allows us to bring on another product that we're introducing to the markets right now in certain states. So in Texas and in Illinois, we have our first ever battery program. Okay, it's called the VPP, a virtual power plant. So what Think Energy does is we get the batteries, we facilitate everything. We install the batteries at no cost to the customer. The customer's getting up to a $30,000 system installed at their home. They don't have to pay anything for it. And we give them a guaranteed discount on their electricity bill for a 15-year period. So it's a 15-year deal. So not only are they getting savings, but they're also getting free battery backup if the grid fails. Just over the last 2 months, with the heat and the crazy little storms that have come in, people have been losing power left and right. When I was out in Illinois, as soon as I left, it was about 2 weeks ago, there was a massive storm that came in and tons of people lost their power. They wished that they had had a battery backup. Well, now they can get it. And it's really caused a lot of people to actually get the battery because of anytime there's an outage, you're like, what can I do? Should I get a generator? Should I do this? No, you don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is call Think Energy Advisor, whoever introduced you to this, and say, get me a battery backup system and give me guaranteed savings on my bill. So we have a partnership with a company called EcoFlow. They're the battery company. You can look them up. the Ocean Pro battery. I chat GPT this or whatever you want to do with the AI and say, is the Ocean Pro EcoFlow battery the best, safest battery in the market? And it will tell you hands down it is. It won Times Innovation of the Year in 2025. You could go and buy a battery at any of these retailers and pay for the battery, pay for it to get installed. It's about $15,000 to $20,000, and you'll get the benefit of backup power, but you won't get the benefit of guaranteed savings for as long as you have the battery for 15 years. So it's really, we optimize the battery. What we really do is we can fill the battery up overnight. Think about the way energy works. Everyone goes to sleep, say 11 o'clock, but power is still being created and pushed onto the grid, but there's no one there to accept it. So energy prices go down to like almost for free at night. It's a penny a kilowatt. During the day is another thing. Everyone's got their power on, businesses are going, things are cranking, and the grid's getting punished. Well, during the day when energy prices spike up, we use the battery power for the home, okay? The customer doesn't even notice it. The customer, whether it's coming from the grid or the battery, they can't tell the difference. But because they gave us the ability to put it on their home, we're able to arbitrage energy, and we give the benefit to the customer with savings on their electric bill and battery backup when the grid goes down. It's a beautiful situation. So it's a very simple and compelling value proposition for customers. Save on electricity, guaranteed for 15 years, and a free battery backup for your home if the grid goes down with zero cost to install it. How about that for a business opportunity? So here's the states that we operate in. Active states 13 with 40 million potential customers for retail energy. AutoSave, the 6 states that I mentioned, 16 plus million customers available there. With AutoSave, you can sign up renters, you can sign up homeowners, you can sign up small commercial accounts. It's perfect for that group. And then community solar, we're in 11 different markets, potentially 5 million customers can get on. This is a great screenshot for those of you who are, looking at the business or are in the business, to just get one screenshot of what states we're in and with what services we're in. So if you go to like Maryland, for example, follow it along, you can see we have community solar here. This is the best community solar market in the entire country is right now in Maryland, because we have tons of inventory available. We won't run out of inventory, and we have guaranteed savings, 10 to 15%. Pretty awesome stuff. You can see things like the battery, right? The battery is going to launch in New Jersey. Right now it's in Illinois and Texas, but it's going to be launching in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Texas. Well, we're going to launch Texas fully in about a week at our convention, so it's a pretty exciting time frame. So with our lineup of services, with AutoSave and all the things that we're doing there with the home battery and community solar, every single one of our services benefits the customer, guaranteed. The customer can't get hurt with anything that we have. They can only benefit from what we have. There's no cost to be in any of our services. It's kind of like, to me, it's like the perfect business. So people ask, all right, Ed, sounds great. What do I got to do to get involved in this? Well, you can just be a customer if that's what you want to do. Just get back in touch with the person who got John here. Say, I want to be a customer. But if you're looking to put this in a part-time situation in your life where you can actually go out there and help us get the message out there and get customers on our services, then you're going to become what's called an energy advisor. That's what I am. That's what Shelly is. That's what Ernest is. We paid $59. Okay, that was the entry fee to get into the business. We don't pay any monthly fees at this company. We don't have website fees or any of that nonsense. We have just an annual renewal of $149 a year from the day you enroll and every year thereafter. So if you're having fun, you're having success in the business, it pays $149 a year to continue. And that just pays for all the tools that we get and all the support that we get from corporate. It's pretty awesome. It's low barrier to entry. So we have access to a proven system that we have developed over the last couple of years. You get your own unique website, thinkenergy.com/Ed, Shelly, Ernest, whatever you want to call yourself, as long as it's still available. And then you have BAM app sharing app that has all of our videos, everything. As soon as you send it from BAM, the customer clicks on it, they can watch a video and sign up right from it. You get notifications that customers are watching your video. It's got really great technology built into it to help you follow up with customers. We get a web office that tracks everything. People always ask, well, if I build a team, how am I going to track all this stuff? You don't have to think about that with our company. We do all the tracking and it happens real time. You enroll a customer, boom, it's right there, real time. You get compensated for it a week later. It's pretty awesome. And then you go through a certification. So in Maryland, the specifics are someone enrolls for $59. They get a welcome email that says, welcome, follow these instructions to get started and get your website live. You have to do a background check, which takes 2 seconds. You just put in some information. Takes about a day to come back. And as long as you haven't done a felony in the last 7 years, you're going to pass it. And then you have to get certified. You have to go through a training by law, by Maryland state law, and every state has its own laws. We have to curtail training to certify our advisors to know what to say, what not to say, just the basics about how to start talking to customers the proper way. That's going to take you about a half an hour. You go through, you watch some PowerPoint presentations, answer questions. It's very repetitive. And once you're done, your website goes live and you can start getting customers at that point. We have an amazing compensation plan. I'm not going to spend time tonight going through compensation, but you can just grab this QR code with your phone, take a screenshot of it, or get your phone, take your photo out, and you click the link and you can watch. It's a video that explains our comp plan. The company pays us 9 different ways, and the video goes through each 9 ways very, very specifically. So you'll have a really good idea of how our compensation plan works. But in essence, every time you get a customer, you get a bonus and you get residual income for as long as that customer stays a customer, right? You get monthly residual income from your customers, but not only your customers. If you build a team, which is what I advise everybody to do, your team goes out there and gets customers. They get other advisors, more customers, or advisors, customers. You get compensated on everything that happens in your entire team, both with a customer acquisition bonus and residual income. Bonuses, if you promote, our company's got 9 different ranks. Every time you hit a new rank, you get a bonus. It's basically our way of saying, congratulations, you're becoming a leader. We want to compensate you for your leadership. And we got coded ranks, coded generations, 2 generations each with each code. That's a little too much for tonight, but you're going to love that part of our comp plan because that's where a lot of money gets paid longer term as you build your team out. And if you become a partner, if you reach the rank of partner, 10,000 customer points. Some people have done it in a year. Some people have done it in 2 years. However long it takes you, when you get to partner, you get a share in the entire company's growth. Every customer that comes in company-wide, every time customers pay their bills, you get paid every single month. They take the amount of money in the pool and they divide it to the shareholders. If you're a partner, you get a share. So they look at how many shareholders there are and they divide that money up equally, and boom, you get a huge pay increase when you become a partner. So you basically taking advantage of the whole company. So our customer-centric approach definitely ensures much higher retentions than anything I've ever seen before. Rates creating stable, predictable income for our advisors. You're not losing customers because you have to renew contracts and stuff. It's just such a dream come true. So that is our opportunity, right? That's the Maryland-focused opportunity. But before I jump into any kind of Q&A, I want to share a couple of promotions that we have going right now that are specific to Maryland. So let me go ahead and share that out. See if I can find it here. Share, comment. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see this page okay. Everything good? You can see this? Jelly, Ernest got a
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect. All right, so let's talk about our solar surge. So LMI is a big deal, okay? Because in Maryland, the law is that if I build a community solar farm, if I'm a developer and I build a farm that can hold 1,000 customers, 40% of that 1,000 customers has to be low to moderate income households. So it's pretty easy to go get 1,000 customers that want to save 10%. The harder part is to get low to moderate income. They save 15%, but they also have to upload something or they have to self-attest. So the company realizes if they want to fill these farms, they have to have a good, consistent flow of LMI customers. So this right here is what I'm showing you is for New Jersey. It's for the Ace Electric. They have a real need for LMI customers there. So they're paying an extra $200 bonus for every customer enrolled. That's Southern New Jersey. And you get double points. When you go through the compensation plan and you learn how the points help you rank up, you'll learn how valuable double points are. So let's jump more into, and that promotion runs out at the end of July. This promotion is for Maryland, okay? Now, if you'll notice on this promotion, this is not a 1 month promotion. This is till the end of the year. So we still have like 6 months or 5 months left to this promotion. This is an amazing runway. I always say, if you've got a great market like Maryland, grow where you're planted. Grow your team out long and strong here. Build up a nice foundation, because the bigger your team gets in Maryland, they'll know people in Illinois, they'll know people in Texas, they'll know people in all the other markets. But while you have it so good with the tailwinds that you have in this market, focus here and you'll grow fast. Okay, so for every LMI customer you get in either BG&E, Delmarva, Potomac Edison, or Pepco, any of the markets that we serve, you're going to get an extra $100 bonus. So you're already getting $35 from the regular comp plan, add another 100 to it. So it's $135 for every customer you enroll at a guaranteed 15% savings for 25 years. Nothing changes. It's a beautiful thing. Plus, you get an extra point. So normally you would get 2 points for a low to moderate income house, but with this promotion, you get an extra point. So that's 3 points. As you move up in rank, it's all about points. So you move up the ranks a lot faster, getting more bonuses and everything like that. If you bring on, let's say I sponsor Ernest. Ernest goes out and gets 10 LMI customers. He just made $1,350, okay, for those 10 customers. I make an extra $25 bonus on every one of those customers. And I didn't do anything. Ernest got the customers. So I get a normally $1,750 plus the 25. So I make $42.50 for every customer that Ernest enrolls into LMI. Plus that extra point rolls up to me as well. So this is a promotion that's going to last through the end of the year. Also, if you know anybody on the Eastern Shore, OC, Ocean City, Maryland, thing about Ocean City, Maryland, it's pretty interesting. It's 13 miles long, like a mile wide, but there's 42,000 meters that are perfect for this program. So in Delmarva, Maryland specifically, you're going to get the 100, but even if it's just a regular 10%, you're going to get an extra $25 plus the 30 that you got. So that's $55 per customer. And if you're a mentor, if I bring Ernest on, he gets 10 customers in Delmarva that are just regular 10%ers, he'll make the $550. I will make, 10 plus 10 is $20 per, I make 200. And I get an extra point off of every customer, whether it's 10% or the LMI. So that's what we have. Now, these promotions are going to go through the end of the year. But what's really important for everyone to know, the culture of our company is we have an annual convention every year. And we put a lot of stock into that convention. We save a lot of big announcements, a lot of big promotions, a lot of big things happen at these conventions. Ours happens to be next week in Philadelphia. From Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You show up, it's really Saturday and Sunday. It's $109 for people to go there. You just have to show up and you'll register you on the spot. If you've joined this business this calendar year, okay, it's $109. And just by you attending the event, there are what are called attendee-only promotions. We know that people invested to come to our convention. We want to reward them for taking the business seriously and being at the convention. So we know how valuable it is to have people at these conventions, because that's where you build your belief, you meet the CEO, everything starts to click for you. So if you can get there, I can promise you there will be at convention attendee-only promotions that will make it 10 times more worth what you paid to get there coming out of it, because there's going to be some promotions that can make you a lot of money coming out of this convention. That's the most I can say, because I'm under a disclaimer. I don't even know half the stuff that they're going to announce there, but the stuff I do know is going to get this group and everybody in the company very, very excited that they came to this event. So that's, you're making an investment in your future by attending the convention. The company says, we recognize that investment that you made. We want to give you the ability to go out there and 10x that investment. So that's what's on the table for not just these bonuses here, but these are standard whether you come to the convention or not. but by attending the convention, there's even going to be a lot more. So with that, Ernest, is there anything else you'd like me to cover for your group tonight?
Ed, first of all, thank you. I'm reading the comments, going through, responding. A lot of excitement about what we have here. And I just want to just say, um, in terms of a question that I'm going to ask you, something like to have is to look at this. A lot of times, and not that our company is old.
Hey, Ernest, your sound is not that clear. Can
You're
you,
breaking up a little. I didn't know if it was me or
yeah, no, he's breaking up.
Can you hear me? Am I still breaking up?
it's coming. It's a little echoey or
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe get close to your monitor.
I'm trying to change my audio to something else.
I do want to mention one thing real quick. If we go back through this, the promotions, I think I heard a lot of people from some autosave markets. So I do want to let everybody know that for every autosave customer you enroll between now and the end of the month, you're going to get an additional $50 bonus. So you'd make $70 for every autosave enrollment. That promotion is automatically extended through the end of September if you attend the convention. This is one of those attendee only promotions where if you come to the convention, you get an extra full 2 months of $50 per extra per autosave customer. So people in DC, heard a lot of Delaware people, heard some Illinois people on the call. This is kind of for you, but it's a great deal. It's actually unbelievable because we're just building an arsenal of autosave customers for when the battery gets launched. It's going to be pretty fun to watch. Ernest, you now you're muted, but it looks like you put your headset on.
All right. Can you guys hear me? How's this?
Much
Oh,
better.
yeah, that's much better.
Okay, perfect. Maybe I need to use this from now on. Yeah, I was just saying, I was thanking you for going through this. I've seen a lot of great feedback from in the chat. I Instead of opening up for questions, I just want to ask you one question, kind of wrap up. And you kind of covered it, but I want to kind of wrap things up, just kind of communicate, the essence of why we did this call. And, not that our company is old. I mean, we launched it 3 years ago. We're still very early. And, a lot of times people, want to be first to the market, want to kind of be the pioneers. And if you can just kind of explain, some of the challenges that we've had here in Maryland, maybe 3 years ago, and even some of the things that have transpired this year, even in February, why those that may are finding out about us now and not 3 years ago, why right now is actually a great opportunity to see this opportunity here in Maryland versus what it may have been 3 years ago.
Yeah, so it's a great question. There's a renewed excitement about Maryland because when they wrote the laws, it was a pilot. The community solar program was a pilot program for the first 5 years, and then it got signed into law, HB 908 in 2023 in June. In that law, it stated that by February of 2026, all of the developers and the utility had to be consolidated with billing, meaning that when I signed up for the farm 6 years ago, I said, I'm willing to have another bill. So I'm going to get a bill, say, community solar credits for $300. Well, the $300 would go onto my BG&E bill as a credit, but I would have to pay the other company $270 for that credit. So I'd pay a 10% discount, but I'd have to pay a separate bill. So when I enrolled, I had to put in ACH information or a debit card or something like that so they could automatically bill me for the credits that I got. In February, it changed. The law came into reality and all the companies had to do this, which is turn it over to consolidated billing, which means I no longer have a second bill and the credit amount just shows up as a positive on my BG&E account. So that same experience now is nothing's changed for me. I'm doing the same thing I've always done, but because I enrolled in the program, I just see that $30 credit on my BG&E bill and I pay $270 instead of $300. So that That one change, we did more sales in the month of February than we had done in the previous 12 months combined. Imagine that. So 12 months of what was called dual billing, still a great deal, still the same thing, 10%, whatever. But it was just having that extra bill complicated it enough where customers would say, you know what, I need to think about this. That's all gone now. So now you sign up, just 2-3 minutes, upload a bill, and you're done. You don't, nothing changes for you. You're not getting the energy from the farm to your house. You're getting it like you always have. Your account is just coded inside of the utilities account that says you have enrolled to support the Maryland State Community Solar Program. You're entitled to a 10% credit on your bill every month for 25 years. That's the big deal. So in all essence, this really became a massive opportunity in Maryland in February. The other big one was the challenges of inventory. Like, you know, if we had had dual billing or consolidated billing here 2 years ago, we would have run out of inventory. We'd had stop and go, where we get all these customers and they say, we're all filled up, thank you. And then we have to wait for more farms to come. Jersey's in that situation right now, okay? We don't have that issue here in Maryland. We've got so much capacity locked and loaded, contracted out, because we have relationships with 6 of the top developers in Maryland, the ones that own the community solar farms. They all come to us because they know our model is the most sustainable way to fill these farms the quickest, because it's really feet on the street. It's friends, educating friends and family members. You know, if I get 10% credit on my bill and I didn't have to do anything different, just take 2 minutes to enroll, you don't think I'm calling my mom, my sister, my brother, my aunt, my uncle, and letting them know, hey, you should take advantage of this. There's enough volume in Maryland for 300,000 residential homes or apartments, okay? When we get close to that, we're right now at about 35,000. So we have, 265,000 spots available. When we get close to that 300, you don't think that the Maryland state legislation is going to get together and up it and make capacity 500,000 homes? If they had their chance, if they had their druthers, they would want every home to be on a community solar farm, because it helps bring new energy online onto the grid, which is what's desperately needed right now. They need more energy supply going onto the grid. So they're going to easily expand the program once we fill it up. It's going to take 2 to 3 years even to fill it up. But with the folks that are on here, you're the ones that have the opportunity right now to get in, roll up your sleeves, and just get busy. With that one video I shared, you could literally build a whatever you want to call it, business part-time just by sharing that video, intriguing people, get entrepreneurs, realtors, mortgage people. Anybody that does anything with a home is a perfect candidate for this. But anyone with just an entrepreneurial, get up and go, wants more out of life, perfect candidates for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ed, so much. You communicated that beautifully. I mean, it's such. We're at the right place at the right time, and I just want to have a quick follow-up question. Something that is a misconception about who can enroll for community solar and who can't, and even what it is. There was a question that was in the chat about existing rooftop solar customers and how can they participate in community solar, and kind of how does that work and what are the requirements. And again, this is something that a lot of people, when they hear community solar, they automatically think rooftop solar. I was speaking to a gentleman that said, hey, you know what, I'm already on that. I subscribed, several years ago, and he was describing rooftop solar. And I said, okay, are you still getting a separate bill from BGE? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how much are you paying BGE? This is a customer that has rooftop solar. He says, I'm on budget billing, and I'm paying like $550 per month on my BGE bill. I'm saying, dude, you are a candidate for community solar, and you don't even know that. So, Ed, if you can kind of explain, if someone has rooftop solar, how can they enroll? What are the requirements? How does that work? We can kind of break that down, and we can wrap up with this last question.
Yeah, so if somebody has rooftop solar, say, no, you know what, I already got solar panels on my roof, say, do you still pay anything to the utility? They say, yeah, I still pay a little bit. Okay, do me a favor. Just take a quick screenshot of your bill, send it to me. Let me take a look at it. When you get the bill and you look at it, if the customer still uses 3,600 kilowatts per year, which is not a lot, it's like a baby apartment. If the solar doesn't offset 100% of their home, and they still have a need for kilowatts from the utility, all you need to do is look at that bill and add up the last 12 months. If it's more than 3,600 kilowatts, they can enroll in the program. Okay? So you can have, Maryland is a state, you can have solar on your home and you can get community solar as well. I'm a perfect example of it. I have solar on my home, doesn't offset, but half my electricity needs, the other half is satisfied with community solar. I get the 10% discount there. So yes, you can do both here. The only state you can't do both in is New York State. They only allow one solar credit, whether it's your rooftop solar or a farm.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Shelley. Are there any other questions that we need to address? I think we've covered them all. I'll wait for your confirmation. I think we're pretty good on questions. Unless do you have any other questions you want to address?
No,
Shelley?
I think we covered everything, Ernest. Thank you.
Okay.
One thing I'll say that's really helping people grow is, people are getting a lot of fundraising opportunities out of this, like nonprofits and churches and schools. And it's going to be back to school time before you know it, and the PTAs and PTOs and all them. This is like the perfect fundraiser for them. They can sign up as an energy advisor. If you're a church, you sign up as an energy advisor and educate your community and get compensated for it. If you got a roof that you need at the church, or you got to pave your parking lot, or you do some structural stuff or whatever, use this as a way to access the funds to pay for those projects. It's really, it's one of the best fundraising opportunities I've seen, because it doesn't cost anybody anything. That's the key. You don't have to pay to become a Maryland State Community subscriber. You don't have to pay a penny to do it. So you're getting a compensation from us as a company for getting that customer educated and enrolled, but you don't have to pay. Nobody has to pay anything to be a customer. So it's one of the best fundraisers I've ever seen. I just wanted to, open people up about that.
Awesome. Well, Ed, thank you so much. Shelley, thank you for your support as well. Guys, we are recording this. We will get this out for you and your team members and your guests that may not have been able to participate. So we'll share that out with the different channels that we're all affiliated with. Everyone have a great evening.
When's the next big local meeting? We got one?
So we have a couple meetings scheduled. We have a meeting. This is on the events calendar. Big Success. July 27th is a Monday at 7 p.m. at the Owen